Another nanny nightmare for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Megsy's on the hunt for someone else to raise Archie and Lily. Has she lost another nanny?
I'm a working mom, and she goes, it can be incredibly overwhelming. Oh my gosh, I just need a break.
It's just, what has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I work so hard.
I'm working so hard. Is she really? Or is she just saying she is?
Well, according to their tax documents, they work 1 hour a week.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
And then we find out she's had a full-time nanny for 5 years who takes the kids to school.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had got through 3 nannies in just 6 weeks, and that's because working for this couple is incredibly difficult.
She likes to do the school run. She wants to be at home for the kids.
Oh my gosh, is she paying you, Devlin?
What is going on?
What do you guys do at home?
For years, Meghan Markle has run her image like a Hollywood director trapped in a royal soap opera. Every camera flash, every headline, every candid shot, choreographed to the beat of her own self-produced fairy tale. But when the spotlight cools and the gates close, what really plays behind those California walls? According to one woman who actually lived it, a nanny who saw the glitter turn to dust, the dream life sold to the world was less royal bliss, more luxury prison.
The nanny that the couple have been relying on for some time wants out.
She didn't just polish silverware, she polished the illusion. And what she discovered inside wasn't family, it was a franchise. This isn't another palace rumor, it's the testimony Meghan never wanted rehearsed. Because when compassion is a hashtag and authenticity is a camera cue, someone eventually notices the script doesn't match the scene, and the curtain's about to drop on the royal movie set.
Trust me, this is all part of Meghan's sinister plan to commercialize her children, to pimp them out for financial gain, and I'm not being sucked in by it at all.
The job offer looked simple, on paper. Childcare for the Duke and Duchess of California, generous pay, strict confidentiality. But read between the lines and it felt more like a casting call than employment. Every adjective screamed, supporting character wanted, discreet, flexible, unnoticeable. Translation, competent, but never competition. Rumor around the agency said Meghan didn't just want a nanny. She wanted background furniture that wouldn't clash with her decor. Looks, social media presence, even relationship status. The audition criteria sounds like this. Too attractive, then pass. Too opinionated, then it's a security risk, because nothing must outshine the brand. And the brand was sacred. Applicants whispered that working for the Sussexes required total orbit around Meghan's universe.
The agency has specifically been instructed to hide Harry and Meghan's identity from the applicant. They just want to make sure you're comfortable working with Meghan because of her reputation.
Forget balance. Gravity itself bent toward her. Flexibility didn't mean scheduling, it meant surrender. Late night texts, endless demands, and zero privacy-worthy unspoken vows. Even stranger access to the children came with conditions. No free hours, no casual affection, no off-script emotion. You followed orders like stage directions. Precise, silent, and obedient. The nanny almost declined. Then one line in the fine print snagged her curiosity. All activities within the residence are subject to observation. She had no idea that observation meant full-scale surveillance worthy of MI5, minus the charm. When she finally agreed to meet, the process played like reality TV in reverse. Agency interview, assistant interrogation, and only then, the royal audience. Each round separated the merely qualified from the properly compliant. By the third meeting, she'd signed more paperwork than a CIA recruit, just to babysit.
Once the agency creates a list of potential hires, you meet with that nanny. Then you have to meet with another one of Meghan's assistants. These are 2 separate auditions. Then you sign an NDA, which grants you access to Harry and Meghan. So this is the 3rd interview.
But the camera was already rolling before she even crossed the threshold. The mansion shimmered like a lifestyle ad. Perfect flowers, perfect silence, perfect tension. From the moment she stepped in, the air felt edited. Every footstep echoed as though sound checked for tone. She expected warmth. Instead, she got Wi-Fi strong awkwardness. Act natural, they said.
You know, she was an actress before she met Prince Harry and became Duchess of Sussex.
I think she's still an actress now, judging by most of her behaviours.
Well,
maybe she ever clicks out of that mode.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard. And I'm still working hard. And I've always been a hard worker. I'm going to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically.
She can't even act like herself.
She's such a phony.
Do not trust this woman.
Uncle, make it end. Make it end.
While every move was filmed from more angles than a Netflix pilot, how she walked, smiled, even how she breathed, all captured. Later, she'd learn it wasn't security footage, it was Meghan's favorite hobby. Those who appeared too confident were labeled difficult, too shy, lacking initiative. The perfect candidate wasn't skilled. She was programmable. By the time Meghan glided in, yes, glided, like an actress entering her own trailer, the questions started. How do you handle being corrected? How do you respond when people misunderstand your intentions? Translation: how well can you take blame for my mood swings?
Living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars.
The nanny realized she wasn't applying to raise children. She was auditioning to raise appearances. Even Harry's presence came with disclaimers. He wanted a Norland-trained professional, crisp uniform, and old-school discipline. Meghan preferred California casual, modern, mindful, maybe with an Instagram aesthetic. What began as parenting philosophy turned into a cold war of image versus institution. Harry spoke of structure, Meghan spoke of vibes. He mentioned duty. She countered with branding. In the end, duty lost. So did the uniform. The nanny understood. This wasn't a household. It was an influence campaign with breakfast service. The prince had traded protocol for PR and didn't even read the press release.
Come on! She literally snared the most eligible bachelor because she thought she was going to be Princess Diana reincarnate with everyone fawning over and loving over her internationally as the new Princess of Wales. And it turns out she's just a bit of a vapid, pointless human being with some sort of personality disorder. And the royal family sniffed this out and went, Harry Major, really think you should marry her? Harry, meanwhile, seems to be hypnotised by the woman. Confessions of a Female Founder. That was her
well done, yeah.
book. Yeah, where she's sort of going, I've got to try and do my business and have kids, as if she's the first blimmin' woman to ever give birth.
At first, the tension was subtle, like holding your breath in a photo that never ends. But then came the oddest silence of all. For months, the nanny saw no sign of the supposed pregnancy everyone online discussed. No doctor visits, no maternity laundry, no late-night cravings, nothing. She shrugged it off at first. Privacy, she thought, until privacy became absence.
So we had to flee the country for family privacy, says Harry, as we watch a $100 million documentary in which he flaunts his young children and shares private text messages, intimate photographs for the entire world to see. When it comes to paparazzi, I had more paparazzi outside my house when I was forced to leave my old job for disbelieving Princess Pinocchio's lies than I saw actually outside their houses at any stage of this documentary. Maybe their mob scenes are to come. We haven't seen any so far. In fact, all their claims of paparazzi intrusion in the two trailers turned out to be nothing to do with them. They weren't even at many of the events which were depicted. So forgive me if I don't think this is all a load of BS.
When public photos later showed a glowing bump, confusion ricocheted through the staff like a dropped teacup. They'd been there the whole time. How had they missed it? Some whispered about strict boundaries, others simply avoided eye contact. Because one rule in that house was ironclad. Never ask questions the press might also ask. Then came the babies, on paper. Inside the mansion, the air remained museum quiet. No laughter, no crying, no crayon streaks. Rooms immaculate, toys untouched. Playrooms locked like props between takes. The house looked lived in only for camera days.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated.
One cleaner finally muttered what everyone feared. Even belief here is managed. The nanny couldn't unsee it. The picture-perfect home was missing something human. The family existed more vividly on magazine covers than in their own halls. And when Meghan's documentary finally dropped, complete with soft lighting and curated chaos, the nanny froze. The windows, the furniture, even the sunlight were wrong. That's not the house I cleaned, she whispered. You see, on screen, Meghan played tender mother. Off screen, she played producer.
Do you know what? There's nothing that gets on my nerves more than posh rich people showering themselves in virtue because they've been able to have offspring. You want to go to a council estate and look at a woman who wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, goes out on a cleaning job, comes home, prepares breakfast for her kids, takes them to school, goes out and does her second job, comes back, picks the kids up from school, hasn't got enough money so she skips her meal so she can make sure her kids are well fed, make sure they're doing their homework in the evening, goes out and pours pints at the local pub, then comes home.
Just
That's the
listening
story
to that.
of motherhood that that I think should be celebrated.
Absolutely.
Not Ms. Markle and her, oh, it's so difficult having children in this massive mansion.
The Nanny realized the show wasn't documenting reality, it was replacing it. The fairy tale had gone full studio production, and the credits hadn't even rolled yet. When the glossy Netflix scenes hit screens worldwide, The Nanny sat frozen. The headlines called it authentic. She called it audition tape.
Even when she was giving us reality, she couldn't give us reality. She has the non-it factor. It's amazing. She's actually good at this.
Every frame looked manufactured, like an ad campaign for empathy. To the world, Meghan was nurturing, glowing, effortlessly real. To those who'd lived behind those hedges, it was airbrushed fiction with a moral soundtrack. The decor was unfamiliar, the angles impossible, the light suspiciously perfect. Even the laughter sounded copy-pasted, as if sincerity had been downloaded from iStock. Behind closed doors, staff texted each other cryptic emojis, a camera, a clown, and a crown, their version of rebellion. One former worker joked, "We weren't staff, we were extras and unpaid ones." Another added, "At least extras get credit." Harry, meanwhile, drifted through the hallways like a man trying to remember where he put his purpose.
Harry and Meghan, the dreariest couple in the history of planet Earth, famously abandoned their royal duties for a life of privacy. They left the goldfish bowl of Great Britain for the camouflage of California, remember? Famously sheltered from the evil British press. And since then, they've kept an incredibly low profile, as they vowed to. If you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden. But they've barely been seen or heard at all, have they?
His jokes landed like drones in fog. Slow, confused, off target. He wanted normalcy. She wanted lighting. Guess which one pays the mortgage? The Nanny finally quit, not in anger, just exhaustion. She'd spent months existing under 24-hour surveillance, where a simple "good morning" could trigger suspicion. In that house, warmth was risky, truth was lethal, and loyalty meant pretending not to notice the missing pieces. But peace left long before the Nanny did. The Nanny's story didn't vanish. It metastasized. Insiders swapped whispers, tabloids sniffed the trail, and PR agents started rehearsing their denials before the questions even landed. Because this wasn't just about one controlling duchess. It was a blueprint, a case study in modern monarchy rebranded for Instagram. The palace had spin doctors, Meghan had algorithms. Both sold fantasy, hers just came with product placement. Every prop in her life had purpose. Chickens for relatability, charity visits for rebranding, and that eternal California sunlight for forgiveness. Even silence was curated. When criticism erupted, she answered it with yoga poses and word salads about compassion. When sympathy ran low, a leak would surface. Strategically heartbreaking, conveniently timed. Harry, that poor man, mistook it for partnership. But what he joined wasn't rebellion. It was reality television without a script supervisor.
I'm a great mum, I'm a great wife, I'm a great friend, I'm also incredibly modest. I mean, what a boaster. Stop boasting about yourself. What's wrong with her? She is racked with epic insecurities.
His world once ran on honor and hierarchy. Now it ran on hashtags. And every time he tried to reclaim his dignity, someone edited the footage. The bigger picture was brutal. In chasing authenticity, they industrialized pretense. The Sussex brand didn't destroy the royal illusion, it franchised it. The Nanny hadn't exposed a secret family, she'd exposed the modern monarchy's sequel, Royalty 2.0, now with filters. When truth becomes content, reality stops paying royalties. By the time the world pieced the puzzle together, the irony was blinding. The woman who preached transparency built a fortress of surveillance. The couple who fled scrutiny recreated it at home, with better cameras. Inside, phones were confiscated, conversations scripted, smiles audited for sincerity. Security wasn't protection, it was performance quality control. Even Harry's laugh sounded like it needed clearance. Then came the kicker. Whenever a photographer visited, the mansion transformed overnight. Toys appeared from nowhere, blankets staged, family photos materialized like pop-ups in a haunted house. It was domestic cosplay, royalty edition. The Nanny recalled one day when Meghan practiced her spontaneous joy face in the mirror. Half a smile, head tilt, soft eyes. Take 1, take 2, take 15. She nailed it, eventually. And the famous chicken coop photo, yeah, staff didn't remember it happening. Maybe because it didn't. The setting existed, but the moment didn't, like Deja Vu sponsored by Photoshop. By now, the brand had devoured the people behind it. Harry wasn't a husband, he was a prop. The kids weren't children. They were trademarks in tiny shoes. And Meghan, she'd become both director and deity of her own myth. Untouchable, unrelatable, unstoppable. But gods have fragile PR cycles. When worship turns to fatigue, image collapses faster than a palace press embargo. The kingdom of illusion is one scandal away from reruns. The Nanny didn't go public for fame. She went quiet for sanity, because after living in a house where love was scripted and privacy meant paranoia, even silence felt like rebellion. Her story isn't vengeance. It's evidence. Evidence that power built on perception can't survive reflection. That compassion merchandised eventually turns counterfeit. That a fairy tale curated frame by frame will always forget the sound of a real heartbeat. Behind the designer drapes and motivational quotes, the scariest thing in that mansion wasn't scandal. It was emptiness. A family replaced by a feed, a mother replaced by a manager, and a prince replaced by a brand ambassador. And somewhere in that silence, the truth sits quietly, unfiltered, waiting for the cameras to stop rolling, if they ever do. If you caught the clues before the cameras did, hit like, tap subscribe, and ring that bell, because this saga isn't done. Now tell me in the comments, was it power, pride, or something darker? Drop your thoughts below. Also feel free to check out some of my other videos on the top of the screen. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed only on Tea Time with Tina.